Okay, I'll open it up with a brief statement. Just before I get into last week's game or looking forward to our opponent this week in Eastern Michigan, I just wanted to inform everyone that there has been a change in our staff. Coach Travis Partridge is no longer our offensive coordinator. He's been relieved of his duties. I wish him well in his next endeavors. He's helped me tremendously throughout my coaching career, helped me with Tennessee State last year. Just a difference in philosophy moving forward and where we're going as a team, and that's kind of where we are with it. Excited to compete this week again. Going to put the best product on the field, continue to work through the process, working through some key injuries, and it's giving our kids a game plan that they can sink their teeth in, get excited about, and go out and compete on Saturday. Any questions?
Eddie, just kind of what are you able to elaborate a little bit more on, maybe not getting into the different philosophies, but what kind of led to this change maybe the last few weeks?
I would say, it's unfortunate that we had just the situation at quarterback. Playing four different quarterbacks is tough. I think you're seeing a lot of that throughout college football. If you don't have stability at that position, it's tough to win ball games and to be consistent, to really build on anything offensively. There was just some things, philosophically speaking, that no longer aligned with what I'm trying to do, where I'm going, and the vision that I have for this football team, and that's fine. I think Coach Partridge is a phenomenal coach, great man, but it just didn't align with where we're trying to go and who I want this team to be. And I think the feelings were kind of mutual on that. Again, he has a bright future, and I wish him well.
And just kind of looking at this season from this year, from 20,000 feet, you get hired in March, kind of throw everything together, start spring practice on top of the world just a few weeks ago, and now these 3 tough weeks. I mean, I guess just how crazy has these 7 months been? I mean, I can't imagine just kind of the highs and lows.
Yeah, and that's football. That's a part of it. You go through the highs and lows of a season, and it exposes a lot. It strengthens you, and it'll determine where you're going to go as a program and who you're going to be. You can look at the records. You can look at where we are as a team in terms of the wins and losses, and certainly within our statistics. But it's there to make you stronger. Before you learn how to win, you got to learn how to lose. And I think we're finding that out is how do we respond to adversity. And I think when you look at the film, our guys are still playing hard. They're still fighting. They still care about winning. No one's throwing in the towel. And then we have to tweak a few things to give ourselves a best chance to win on Saturday. We know the hand that we were dealt, but I'm not going to use that as an excuse, or wait and say, hey, we're going to wait till next year. There's still a lot to play for here. Guys are still, putting up some good stats. We can still put together a great season. We can still grow. We can still get better. And I want to make sure our seniors leave on a winning note and a positive note, and build a momentum for the future. And so that's exciting to me. And I have to get over, and we have to get over the emotional attachment to the results that we've had. The last 3 weeks were tough, very tough, but we've got to find a way, and we're going to do just that.
Can you take us through maybe some of the mechanics of what this change means? Is play calling become more collaborative? Who's going to become a play caller at this point?
Yes, Coach Greg Nosal will be the play caller, OC. He's our offensive line coach. He was already co-offensive coordinator. There will be some collaborative efforts in terms of the quarterback room. Coach Brian White will assist with that, as well as Coach Dwayne Alexander. And it's going to be a collaborative effort as far as our game planning is concerned. It's all hands on deck. There are some really great coaches on that side of the ball with years of experience that can navigate us through this period. And clearly, their things are going to be simplified, easier to digest, and the goal is to allow our kids to play fast and keep it simple. We're developing a plan just to do just that.
Making this change at this time of the year, obviously you're expecting immediate results. What can we expect to see then Saturday in Nipsey?
Expect to see an offense that's efficient, that can do things well. Don't know the status of Drew as of right now. Of course, he tried to go last week, and he's just not healthy right now. So we're going to take that day by day, even week by week. And who's ever under center, we're going to put a game plan around him that he can be successful in and try to build. The goal is to put points on the board and to put drives together. Let's try to get that first down, and we'll go from there.
Now that you've had a couple of days to look at the film, what did you see out of Nazim in the game on Saturday?
Last past weekend? Yeah. Oh, wow. Well, offensively, we all saw the struggles. Nothing changed from that perspective. Drew wasn't healthy. Couldn't really protect himself, and we just saw an offensive struggle. Wasn't able to put points up. Had opportunities. I tried to give the team some type of momentum by going for it on fourth down. Maybe it wasn't the smartest decision. That's probably a bonehead decision on my behalf. Maybe I should have punted it and allowed our defense to get out there and try to get a stop. Just trying to generate some type of energy and some type of hope for the offense. So defensively, gave up the first quick drive. Scored on the explosive on the run game, the big pass play, and that was pretty much it for our defense. I think they settled down really well after that. They were able to get a beat on what they were doing. I believe they got eight 3-and-outs after that point in time. What hurt us was the fumble before halftime. We suffered our first fumble from the running back room this year, and it came at a costly time, which led to 21 points. And then coming out of half, I think a 3-and-out punt return for a touchdown, and that was pretty much it. So, this time of year reveals a lot for teams. Teams start to catch momentum. They start to get better week by week, and there are teams that are trying to still survive and try to find out what they do well, and we're one of those teams right now. We're reeling for some confidence. We're reeling for some victories, and we're just reeling for some success. And again, we have to, in order to get to what we want to be and who we want to be, we have to go get through this, and we have to do it together. We have to be positive with it. We have to rally the troops and understand that, hey, we still have a good football team. We just got to get some healthy bodies out there and go out and compete.
This Saturday, competing against a team that's also struggling in Eastern. They're coming off a week off. What are the challenges when you're facing a team that has had 2 weeks to prepare for you guys?
Well, they had 2 weeks to prepare. They're rested at the right time. It's a good time of year to have a bye week. You've had plenty of ball. You probably don't have to do too much in terms of practice. You can kind of heal up, really formulate a game plan that find the best advantages for us. But again, it doesn't matter for us if you're coming off a bye week or not. We got to go out there and play, and I'm pretty sure they're going to be prepared and itching to get a victory.
Looked like you and Harold Fannin had an interaction after the game on Saturday. Can you just talk about the interaction you had with him and what he told you?
Yeah, Harold came to see us. Actually, when we played Kent State, he came by the hotel, and I told him I was a big fan of him. I met him before, and we had dinner together. We just talked about my time in the NFL, gave him some advice. He kind of shared what he's experiencing now playing in the league. And I mentioned to him, I said, hey, man, I want to get your signed jersey from you. I got to put it up in my man cave. So he was gracious enough to give me a jersey, and I said, I'll give you one of mine. And I said, which one? You want the white, scarlet, Ohio State, Titans, didn't matter. So we just exchanged jerseys, and he's just a great resource, great young man. And Harold Fanning Jr. is an awesome dude.
Eddie, this is probably the wrong choice of words, but is there a part of you that's kind of excited? And there's so many good vibes around this program the last few months, and part of you that now that the honeymoon's over in a way, just kind of see what the response from this team is, and just kind of going forward to kind of see what you guys are made of here?
Oh, absolutely. That's the beauty of it. As bad as it feels, this is the obstacle that we have to go through. This is something that I have to go through. It's a part of my growth, my development. I welcome the challenge. Our coaches we welcome that challenge. Our team, I tell them, handle hard better. And that's what we have to do. And it's going to make us better because of it. I've been in these situations before as a player. Been in these situations before as a coach in my first couple years at Tennessee State. And when I first got to Tennessee State, it wasn't at the hiring cycle of coaching. It was done in the spring. So I had to put same situation, had to put a product together and make it the best situation. And we're going to bring the right people in the building. We're going to get it right. We're going to recruit right. We're going to coach. We're going to find kids with character. We're going to discipline that character. We're going to mold that character into what we need it to be to become a Falcon. And as a byproduct of that, we're going to build a championship team. So, this, you have to embrace it as bad as it feels, and you want to run from it. You hope you let it go, get through it. You got to learn and grow and grind through it. And this is the vicissitudes of a season and of life, and that you have to embrace that.
Obviously, this is a unique situation. The injuries, the new team, like you said, being hired in the middle of the cycle for the second straight job. But in your continued growth as a head coach, what do you think you've learned the most this year?
Oh, man, that's a great question. What have I learned the most this year?
Or maybe they kind of apply going forward as you guys kind of attack the rest of the season and the offseason?
Is that culture is everything. Culture is everything. Yes, we've got to get talented players in here. We've got to develop players. But the culture is something that's a living, breathing organism that you have to pay attention to, pamper, develop, tweak every single day, every single moment. The moment that I give into that and allow complacency to creep in and people to be comfortable, for me to be comfortable, like, oh, that's okay, we'll get it, we'll figure it out next week. There is no next week. That's the opportunity, a teachable moment to address it right now. And the opportunities now is that, man, how do you handle adversity? And I can get up in front of the team, in front of everybody, and say, hey, you know what? I was hired in March, and I don't have my guys. No, those are my guys. Those are my kids, regardless if I recruited them or not. It's my job to prepare them, to coach them, to develop them, to give them the right mindset, to give them the tools to go out on that football field and to win games. And I've learned that at times I failed at that this year, and that's okay. I'm learning, I'm growing, and that's a part of my growth and development. But I'm going to get it right. One thing about me, I'm going to find a way. It may not be on everybody's timetable, but it's going to be at the right time. And I am committed to that. I'm grateful and thankful for the coaches I have in this building. I'm grateful and thankful for the coaches that have left and departed, because they've taught me something about myself and about this team and what we can do. So these are teachable moments for these young men to carry with them for the rest of their lives. And every year a team's going to have a certain record. And my goal was to have a championship team and hoist up the trophy. But, hey, we're not there yet. But it's these moments, it's this time that doggedness is really formed and shaped, and you're finding out who you are as a man. You're having to dig deeper than you ever had before, and you're having to really rely on your faith and have the guts to be willing to move forward in a positive way, regardless of how you feel. And this can be applied to any situation in life. So that's what I would say I've learned.
Obviously, you're on the defensive side of the ball, but at the same time, a major change with the offensive coaching staff today. Just how did the team take it? Just what's kind of the mood of the team right now?
We had a meeting earlier about the situation, and after the meeting, a bunch of the guys on the D-line and just the defensive side, we talked about it, and we realized that it's going to be the best for us going forward, and whatever Coach George thinks will help us win, help us get those W's, and help us go to a bowl game, we're just going to follow and listen.
One of the things Coach George just talked about is an outside perception might be, these aren't his kids because he didn't recruit everybody, but that's not how he looks at it. Every single one of these players are one of his kids. How does it feel for you knowing that your coach has your back?
Well, when coming in, seeing Coach George come in the spring, right away he made it clear that we're his kids. We're his guys. He's going to stick with us, and we're going to win this season. What was the other half of your question? Sorry.
That was basically it. That you've known for a while now that he has your back. Let's talk a little bit about this Saturday going up to Eastern Michigan. Just the challenges facing an Eagles team that, similar to you guys, are struggling right now.
The challenges is just based on us within. We just have to play our own ball. We have to do our 1-11. Each guy has to come in and give his all, knowing that we're behind this season, but we still have a lot ahead for us.
Just from the highs of the Toledo win a couple weeks ago to just the last few weeks, I guess first of all, how tough, how tough on a human level has these last few weeks been, and also how excited are you to kind of see how you guys respond to this challenge?
It's tough. I mean, the amount of work we put in on a day-to-day basis, it's just tough. I mean, not winning these last 3 weeks. Seeing how our younger guys are still bought in with the program, that's what amazes me the most. Just because there's a lot of people, I've been part of a team where a lot of people just give up right now, but you don't see that at all in the locker room or even at practice. A lot of people just working hard, ready to get that bowl game.
All right, let's start right there. Where does that versatility come from? What's the challenges of being starting at a different position, all 5 positions?
It's honestly simple, I've been doing this my whole life, so it's kind of, like 1, 2, 3, being there for the team and everything,
Obviously, big news today, change at the offensive coordinator spot. Just what was your reaction? What was the team's reaction earlier this morning? You guys were informed.
I kind of felt pretty neutral about it, through everything. The team we just gotta have faith in everything and keep pushing, keep grinding and everything, and that's what we're gonna do this week. We have Eastern Michigan coming up, so that's what we're gonna continue to do.
Is this a situation where adversity kind of binds you guys even closer together now?
Most definitely. Adversity is, it's kind of good for everything. It's good for the team as well. We're coming together. We're staying positive. We have a plan in motion, so everything is coming together.
I guess being able to play all 5 positions on the line, how marketable do you think that makes you at the next level as well, where versatility is so key?
I feel like it makes me pretty marketable, playing all 5 positions, It shows my versatility. It shows I could do it all, but I'm doing what's best for the team.
And just kind of on a human level, just from the highs of the Toledo win a few weeks ago to the tough last few weeks, I guess just how tough have these last few weeks been? And just, I guess on the flip side, how excited are you to kind of see how you respond to a tough challenge as a team?
Has it been tough? Honestly, it's been kind of tough, but our team is pushing through. We'll continue to move forward. Moving on to the next week. We'll continue to grind. We're just staying positive through anything, and that's pretty much the plan right now.
you're at the conclusion of your fourth season here. Just what's the journey been like? I mean, you've you hit all the positions. You've been playing the drums. You just kind of what's your Bowling Green experience been like?
Bowling Green experience is a great experience. This is home. This is everyone's home. This is family. Honestly, this is a great organization, a great program. I've been a part of. I've been blessed to been a part of. And I just thank God that I'm here.